Live from historic Dunn Field in Elmira, New York, it's time for Elmira Pioneers baseball as tonight the Pios go for a third consecutive victory, taking on the Newark Pilots. Good evening, everybody, for the Elmira Pioneers baseball network. I'm Farrell Hudson. We'll have all your live coverage this evening, as we alluded to. Elmira going for win number 3 to stay in what's been a very competitive playoff race, especially to note in the Western Division coming into tonight's ball game. Pioneers on the season are 4-2 against Newark, 2-1 at Dunn Field, 2-1 at Colburn Park. Elmira entering tonight's ball game 15-13-1, just a half game ahead of the Newark Pilots. They're chasing down the Auburn Doubledays, who stand at 16-10-4 across 30 ball games. Game number 30 tonight for the Pioneers, and it's already game number 16 on home soil. 9-5-1 is the record. Bryce Mashanik's taking the hill, which means let's take a look at the Newark Pilots starting lineup. To lead off the ball game, Nick DiGiacomo's in center field. Chris Finnecaro's the right fielder. He'll bat second. Christian Butera at third. He'll bat third. Noah Brooks is the DH. He'll clean up. Anthony Hector, the shortstop, bats fifth. Jacob Poletto in left field will bat sixth. Grant Ingram is the EH. He'll bat seventh. Alex Wooden at first base will bat eighth. Evan Brock is the second baseman. He'll bat ninth. And rounding out the batting order is the catcher, Parker Zeiser. Pioneers saw a lot of Zeiser behind the plate in both ball games at Colburn Park in the 4th of July doubleheader last Friday. Pioneers splitting that twin bill with Newark. Let's take a look briefly at the defensive alignment behind the starter, Bryce Mashanik. Left to right in the outfield, it's the new guy making his Elmira Pioneers debut, Andrew Hartman. We'll get to more on Hartman in a minute. Brett Baker in center field, TJ Gramesti in right. Brendan Hammers over at third. Nick Grabowski, as usual, at the shortstop position. Jacob Moniz gets inserted in at second base, and over at first is Brooks Hicken. Anthony Manganiello behind the plate for Bryce Mashanik, who starts tonight's ball game. So far, a very solid season for Mashanik, a 4.4 ERA in 7 appearances. He started only one game, 14 1/3 innings of work, 7 earned runs, 9 walks, and 19 strikeouts. Pitching to an opposing batting average of 176, as the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball for a called strike. 0-1 on Nick DiGiacomo. Pilot center fielder batting .294 on the season across 20 games. As he pops the next offering up behind the plate, Manganiello over and makes the catch on the warning track for out number 1. So a nice play to get things going here in Elmira this evening. For Newark, this is ball game number 15. An element in which they've thrived in is their road play. 8-6 across their opening 14 ball games, including just edging out the Pioneers 6-5 here at Dunn Field 4 nights ago. From the right side of the plate, it's the right fielder Chris Finnecaro against Mashanik with 1 out. Bryce kicks and fires. First pitch fouled back. 0-1 the count. Just underway here in Elmira. Glad you could join us on this Wednesday evening. Pioneers taking down the Geneva Red Wings 13-5 last night at Dunn Field. As a fly ball to center field, settling under it is Brett Baker, and he puts it away for out number 2. So 2 quick outs on 4 pitches for Bryce Mashanik. Relatively economical through the first 2 batters, and that'll bring up Christian Butera, the third baseman. Butera in from the right side of the plate. 3rd consecutive righty to lead off the ball game against Bryce Mashanik. For Butera, the native of East Greenwich, Rhode Island, an attendee of Brown University, cuts and misses through Mashanik's first offering. A fastball let her high. 0-1 is the count. Not only did he appear at Brown, he had a .303 batting average, 2nd on the team collectively. And it led all Ivy League rookies as 0-1 fastball inside. A ball and a strike to count. Mashanik to Butera just underway. 2 outs, no score, nobody on in the top of the first. 1-1 from Bryce. Fastball just off the plate. 2-1. For the Pioneers, TJ Gramesti's been playing a lot of the outfield. You see him in right field tonight. Anticipate, according to manager Andrew Drum, that he'll likely be behind the plate in the coming weeks a couple more times. Again, Pioneers have been rotating a couple catchers in the mix, both Anthony Manganiello, Brandon Dubek. You saw him last night against Geneva. 3-1 offering for Mashanik. Fastball just off the outside corner. Manganiello thought he had strike 2, didn't get it. So a 2-out walk, first base runner of the game. It comes from the third baseman Butera, who's aboard with 2 outs. So going back to what Coach Drum was talking about, it's been said around that just a slight bit of hamstring tightness, nothing too much of concern in regard to TJ Gramesti, but would assume in more high leverage situations, stakes are getting higher as teams are inching closer and closer to the playoffs as Gramesti gets a try here out in deep right center, settles under it and puts it away to retire the side of a relatively easy top of the first for Bryce Mishannon. For Newark, no runs on no hits, no errors, and they strand a runner on base. Halfway through the first, no score on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Yes. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball here from Dunn Field as we get you set for the bottom of the first inning. The Newark Pilots have taken the field behind their right-handed starting pitcher in Logan Bowman, which means let's take a look at Elmira's starting lineup. Aiden Grabowski, the shortstop, digs in from the right side. Ty Martineau, the DH, and TJ Gramesti to follow. Top three in the Elmira order as the breaking ball catches the outside corner. Nothing in one from the right-hander Bowman. Brett Baker in center field will clean up. Michael Palmer, the H, will bat fifth. Andrew Hartman in left field will bat sixth. Jacob Onas at second base will bat seventh. Anthony Manganiello, the catcher, batting eighth. Brooks Sicken at first base batting ninth. Brendan Hammer rounding out the batting order, manning the hot corner this evening over at third. 0-1 breaking ball misses high. 1-1 the count to Aiden Grabowski. Nobody on, nobody out, just underway here on this gloomy Wednesday evening from Dunn Field. Seventh matchup of the season between the Pioneers and the Newark Pilots. They'll see Newark once more. That'll come July 24th at Colburn Park. Potentially a huge ball game in terms of crunch time situation for the Pioneers. They enter tonight's ball game just barely ahead of Newark. Pilots 14-13-1 across 28 ball games. Pioneers 15-13-1 with a pretty nice 8-run defeat of Geneva last night. So 1-2 the count on Aiden Grabowski with nobody out. Bowman sets from the right side of the rubber, winds and delivers. Breaking ball popped up. Right side of the infield, the second baseman retreats back. That's Brock, and he puts it away for out number one. So Grabowski's retired for the first down. We mentioned Andrew Hartman making his debut for Elmira tonight. A graduate student now at Post University, the Bethel, Connecticut native. He is playing left field tonight. He'll be batting sixth. One out for Ty Martineau, righty on lefty matchup, as Bowman kicks and fires. Fastball outside corner for a called strike one. So 0-1 the count with one out, just underway. Bottom of the first inning, bases empty for Elmira. Bit of a slow start yesterday. Geneva got off to a 5-3 lead, but Pioneers ended up staging a late comeback, 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth, and they never looked back from there. Took home a 13-5 victory behind some stellar relief pitching as well. Larson Birch, 3 2/3, got the win, 5 strikeouts. Limiting the damage, no earned runs for Birch. Fastball outside corner, called strike 2. So Martineau down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Grabowski popped up to the second baseman Brock to lead off the bottom of the first. 1-2. Martineau gets a piece of the fastball, stays alive. Left to right in the outfield for Newark. Jacob Leto hits the start in left. That's his usual position. Nick DiGiacomo in center. Chris Finicaro over in right. Over at third base, it's Christian Butera. Anthony Hector is the shortstop. Ben Brock, the second baseman. Alex Wooden over at first, with Parker Zeiser doing the catching this evening. 1-2. This one grounded to the left side of shortstop. It's Hector, throw across the diamond in time, 2 away. So Martineau grounds out. 2 outs to the bases empty for TJ Grabowski. Take a look at the numbers on Logan Bowman on the season. 1-0. This was his 7th appearance, second start. Across 13 2/3, he's allowed only 6 earned runs. 9 walks and 5 strikeouts, pitching to an opposing .240 batting average across 50 at-bats. Breaking ball inside Grabowski, righty on righty matchup, 1-0 the count. TJ found out yesterday he was selected as a West Division All-Star, and for good reason. .360 batting average across 86 plate appearances, 27 games. 7 extra base hits, a homer, and 14 RBIs as he drives one deep to left field. Going back on the warning track is Poletto. He can only watch. A solo shot for Grabowski, who stands at home plate and flips the bat big time, a la Jose Bautista. Pioneers go in front 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. That was an absolute no-doubter from Grabowski. As he crosses home plate. So now homer number 2 on the season as he sat dead red on a 1-0 fastball. So it'll be Brett Baker to come to the plate. A loud offensive thump against Logan Bowman. Baker comes to the plate. First offering from Bowman, breaking ball inside corner for a called strike. Brett has made quite the impression so far here in Elmira. Brett across 5 ball games, 9 hits, an extra base hit, 4 RBIs, a 1220 OPS. Nothing in 1 fastball outside corner. Brett taking for a called strike 2. That was a no-doubter from Grabowski. That one headed to the Chemung River. Heck, might even be headed over to Tioga County. What a blast. Clearing the 20-foot-high left field wall. 0-2 the count on Baker with 2 outs as Bowman comes set right side of the rubber and fires home a breaking ball. This one sprayed back up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Baker follows up the long solo shot from Grabowski with a hit of his own. That's a baby hit compared to Grabowski, but the Pioneers nonetheless take it. Another nice knock from Baker. So a 2-out rally being pieced together by Elmira here in the home half of the first. A run on 2 hits against the very formidable Newark righty and starter Logan Bowman. Second consecutive righty on lefty matchup. It's Michael Palmer, DH, to stand in. Mike getting the night off from first base. Works second starting there tonight for the Pioneers. Breaking ball fouled off, 0-1 the count. It'll be 0-1 to Palmer with 2 outs. Bowling fires, breaking ball, line down the right field line. That could be trouble. That's racing over to the corner. Nice running grab made by Finnicaro to conclude the bottom of the first, but not before an absolute tape measure blast off the bat of TJ Granesti. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We'll take it to the second. Elmira ahead by 1 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Three and 1 the count with nobody out. Top of the second inning. Elmira ahead 1-0. Bryce Mashanik has taken the rubber and he fires fastball inside. Low in the dirt for ball 4. Anthony Hector, the shortstop, aboard with nobody out. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jacob Poletto. On the season for Jacob Poletto, batting .243 across 23 ball games, 18 hits, 2 extra base hits, and 7 RBIs. Digs in for the left side against the righty Mashanik, 1 on with nobody out. A short lead off of first base for Hector, who led off the inning with a 5-pitch walk, even with the bag at third as Hammer. And first pitch fence ball over the outside edge. Poletto taking for a called strike 1. No runs on no hits and no errors for the Newark Pilots. A run on 2 hits and no errors for your Elmira Pioneers. A long solo blast off the bat of TJ Grimesti in the home half of the first inning has Elmira out in front. 0-1. Foul back to the screen from Poletto. 0-2. It'll be an 0-2 as Poletto awaits from Mashanik. Checks first base from the right side of the rubber with nobody out. Breaking ball off the outside edge. 1-2. It'll be Poletto followed by Grant Ingram, then Alex Wooten. Middle of the Newark lineup here in the top of the second. 1-2 from Mashanik with nobody out. Fastball in the dirt. Nice stop from Anginello. 2-2 the count. Mashanik fires a high fly ball to deep right. Going back is Grimesti just in front of the warning track, settles under it and puts it away for a round out number 1. So Poletto is retired. That'll bring up the right-handed hitting extra hitter, Grant Ingram. Pioneers and Pilots facing off. For already the 7th time this season. Ready on ready matchup with Mashanik, 1 on and 1 out. First pitch from Bryce is a breaking ball inside to the Gurley, Alabama native. Ingram takes 1-0 to count. Ingram, an attendee of North Arkansas Community College. Fastball called strike 1. Ingram batting .289 across 20 games, 15 starts. Collected 808 OPS. Solid season for him. 1-1 from Mashanik. Fastball off the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 2-2 as Mashanik comes back with a fastball. The count with 1 out. Bryce sets right side of the rubber, delivers, and the breaking ball popped up right side of the infield. Second baseman Moniz calls. Jacob settling under it and puts it away. 4 as Ingram's retired. Second out of the inning. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up the right-handed hitting first baseman Alex Wooten. Wooten batting .170 across 18 games on the season. He's in from the right side against Mashanik. Fastball off the outside corner. 1-0. Fastball inside corner for a called strike 1. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs. We're in the top of the second inning. Pioneers and Newark. Elmira ahead 1-0 on the solo blast, courtesy of TJ Grimesti. 1-1. Fastball dribbled on the ground to the shortstop. Grabowski on the high hop. Handles it, fires the short way to Moniz in time for out number 3. So Mashanik avoids any trouble after the leadoff walk. No runs and no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We're through an inning and a half. Pioneers ahead by 1 on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira for the bottom of the second inning of action. Andrew Hartman, in his first Pioneers at bat, takes a fastball high and away. 1-0 the count to the left-handed hitting left fielder out of Bethel, Connecticut. Started at Gordon College and moved now to Post University for his graduate season. Waits a 1-0 from Bowman. Breaking ball inside corner, called strike one. Hartman fouls it back. 0-2 the count. From Bowman, breaking ball hit on the ground into right field for a base hit. So Hartman's debut at bat with the Pioneers is a good one. Third hit of the ball game in an inning plus against the right-hander Bowman. Pioneers have a runner on with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Hartman last year a .333 batting average across 37 ball games in his senior season at Gordon College. 42 hits to go along with 9 doubles, 3 RBIs, or 3 homers, shall I say. 27 RBIs is the breaking ball. Taken off the outside corner. 1-0 the count to Jacob Moniz. Moniz on the season a .290 batting average across 12 ball games, 9 hits, and 4 RBIs. .425 on base percentage. Righty on righty matchup with Bowman, 1-0 count. Short lead off the first for Hartman, breaking ball inside corner at the knees. They'll call strike one to Moniz, 1-1 the count. And thrown back to first from Bowman. Even with the bag at third is Butera. Hector at shortstop. Brock at second, the regular middle infield spots. Alex Wooden is holding on. Andrew Hartman at first. 1-1 the count with nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. Pioneers already with 3 hits. A run on the board by a long solo blast, shall I say, off the bat of DJ Gernesti in the bottom of the first. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. 1-2 the count to Moniz. Breaking ball inside corner, called strike 3. Moniz down for the first down at the bottom of the second inning. First strikeout of the ball game for the righty Bowman. As that brings up the catcher, Anthony Manganiello. Catcher number 33, Anthony Manganiello. Manganiello on the season, he's batting .179 across 20 ball games. Bit of a slug for Anthony, still at .338 on base percentage in the process as he grounds one into right field for a base hit. Hartman's going to make the turn at second. He'll stop right there as the throw supply right back to the infield from Finicaro. 2 on for Elmira with 1 out in the home half of the second. Second consecutive inning to open up the ball game against the righty Logan Bowman with 2 hits for the Pioneers as that brings up another lefty in Brooks Hicken. Hicken getting time starting at first base tonight, the product of Jacksonville, Florida, batting .129 on the season. Across 11 ball games, 9 starts, 4 hits, 2 extra base hits, 4 runs, and no RBIs. First pitch to Hicken. Righty on lefty matchup. Brooks takes a breaking ball outside. 1-0 the count. Hartman leads off a second. Manganiello off a first. The RBI opportunity for Brooks as he grounds the breaking ball into right field for a base hit. Harmon's going to round third. He comes to the plate. The throw from Finnicaro is up the line. An RBI single for Hicken, and the Pioneers lead 2-0. So the third hit of an inning plates home the second run. 2-0 Elmira, 5 hits through an inning plus against Logan Bowman. And with 1 out, it'll be Brendan Hammer rounding out the Elmira batting order. So it's Hammer in from the right side, Pioneers third baseman. He's been getting more time at the second base position as of late. Gets the start tonight with John Simmons getting the night off at third. And Hammer moving from second to third, and Michael Palmer getting the night off at least from first base, so a bit of a different alignment for the Pioneers tonight. Haven't seen either Ben Rohde or Dylan Favich in the outfield in a little bit. Brett Baker's become the predominant center fielder. TJ Bermesky remains over in right. Harmon getting the start in left. Manganiello leads off a second, Hicken off a first, and just firing over to the second base position is the right-hander Bowman, as Brock was nowhere near covering the bag. First pitch to Hammer, righty on righty, is a called strike. Brendan taking the fastball over the outside corner, 0-1 the count. For Hammer, a .256 batting average. He's appeared in 16 ball games, started in 14, 10 hits, no extra base hits, 11 runs, and 7 RBIs. Bowman's 0-1. Change up just off the plate, 1-1. Another 2-1 the count to Hammer. Sets and fires as Hammer dribbles it foul. Up against the screen behind home plate. 2-2 the count. Bryce Mashanik's done a pretty nice job so far. 2 walks for Bryce, but that's about it. No base runners besides that. He's faced 8 Newark Pilots to come to the plate so far through 2 innings of work. 2-2 with 1 out. Hammer lines the fastball foul as Bowman tried to jam Hammer's hands with an inside corner heater. Hammer doing a nice job protecting the plate. He remains alive. A .442 on base percentage for Hammer on the season. OPS just south of 700 at .698. 2-2 with 1 out, double steals on. Breaking ball called strike throw to the outside corner. Throw down to third, not in time. Double steal. Hammer's retired by the backwards K for the second out of the inning, but back to the top of the batting order. And Aiden Grabowski with a chance to do damage. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. So Grabowski the track to the plate. Aiden a pop-up to Evan Brock at second, his first trip to the plate. That led off the ball game. Righty on righty matchup. Manganiello's off of third. Brooks Hicken with the RBI single is off of second. Bowman sets and fires. This one wide to left field. Settling under it is Paletto, just by the warning track, puts it away for out number 3 in the inning. So for the Pioneers, a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll take it to the third. Elmira ahead by 2 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. course, Mark has to troll his. Pass ball. Pass ball. Test. Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning here on Pioneers Baseball Network as Bryce Mechanic plunks Chris Finicaro. Lead off, Elmira with a 2-0 lead. I want to apologize for some of the technical difficulties experienced as now Christian Butera will come to the plate, righty hitting third baseman in the 3 spot for Newark this evening. So a runner on, tying run at the plate with nobody out. Top of the fourth, Elmira moving on to a 2-0 lead in strikeouts to the date in the ballgame for Bryce Mechanic, who just got through his first 1-2-3 inning of action, making relatively economical work of this Newark Pilots lineup through the early going. First offering to Butera is fouled back. Butera drew base via a walk, one of the 2 walks issued by Mechanic through 3+ innings of work. In the top of the first inning, 1 swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. delivers. Fastball just off the plate, 1-2 the count. Taking off for second, Finicaro pops out of the glove of the catcher, Manganiello, as racing up to second is Finicaro. A stolen base for him as he moves into scoring position with a 2-2 count to Butera with nobody out. It'll be Butera followed by Noah Brooks and Anthony Hector, the shortstop. Two from Mashanek. Speaking of this, so the first strikeout of the ball game for Bryce comes 3 1/3 into his outing. 1 out in the top of the 4th for Noah Brooks. Brooks in the ball game, a fly ball to TJ Grimesti and deep right, drove it out to the warning track. His last trip to the plate, that concluded the top half of the first inning. 28 hits on the season with 3 homers and 28 RBIs across 43 starts at Siena College. Achieved NAAC academic honor roll achievement in his freshman season, making 21 starts and fared pretty nicely at Siena College. Fastball way off the plate as Manganiello had to dive. Mashanek behind the count 2-0 to Brooks. Brooks hit .275 across those 21 starts, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 1 triple, driving in 15 runs and scoring 9. An opportunity here to drive in the first run of the ball game for the Pilots. They trail by 2. Brooks represents the tying run in the cleanup spot. Ready and ready matchup 2-0 inside. Mashanek almost plunks Brooks as he had to dive the hips out of the way. 3-0 the count. Mashanek deals fastball just low for ball 4. Manganiello thought he had a strike, didn't get it. So 2 runners on by a free pass at the end. A hit batsman to Finicaro, who stole second. Then a strikeout of Butera. Noah Brooks now walks. So 2 on with 1 out, and here comes Anthony Hector, the shortstop, as Manganiello has a conversation with his righty starter in Bryce Mashanek. Hey fans, come back, join the back-to-back West Division champion Pioneer family with season tickets starting at just $99. Stop by the merchandise stand to sign up today. 1 out and 2 on in the top of the 4th for the left-handed hitting Anthony Hector. In the ballgame, Hector led off the top of the 2nd inning with a walk. Mashanek deals, roll the runners taken off. Manganiello is going to fire down to second. Down in time, ball skips behind. Is thinking of coming to the plate, but holding up that third is Finicaro. A double steal as but Brooks and Finicaro are now in scoring position. 1-0 to count with 1 out. Hammer will come in at the third base bag, so will Hicken at first. Good RBI opportunity for Anthony Hector. Pilot shortstop with 16 RBIs on the season. Third for Newark behind both Cooper Boyle and Noah Brooks. And for that matter, the entire rest of the Pioneer infield will come in. Grabowski at shortstop, Moses at second. Outfield at medium depth, or like no doubles depth, playing everything in front of them. This one long to the right field for a base hit. Finicaro's going to come into play. Grounding third is Brooks, so stop right there on an RBI single from Anthony Hector. First hit of the ball game, first hit in the inning, and first run for Newark. It's now 2-1. They've sliced the deficit in half. Runners on the corners with 1 out. So Hector's reached base twice in the ballgame. Now the second consecutive lefty will come to the plate, and Jacob Leto. Mashanek checks first base with 1 out. Comes set and fires fastball at the letters. for a called strike one to Coletto. 0-1 the count with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Pioneers clinching on to a 1-run advantage. As Bryce Mashanik's running himself into a light lick of free base trouble in the top of the 4th. A hit batsman to Finicaro to lead off the first pitch that the Newark right fielder saw in his 2nd plate appearance, and then a walk from Noah Brooks. 2 stolen bats for Finicaro in the inning. Stolen base for Brooks on the double steal. And as he now moves to 3rd, Finicaro crosses the plate on the RBI single from Hector, who's off at 1st, and checking on Hector over at 1st is Mashanik. Throws back to Hicken. And Coletto patiently awaits a 1-1. Mashanik fires back to 1st, keeping an eye closely on Hector. Hector 3 stolen bases on the season. Not necessarily the greatest threat, but you want to be mindful of runners on the corners with 1 out. Coletto dribbles 1 foul. A big momentum boost here if Mashanik can get the final 2 outs without another run crossing the plate. And you have at minimum a 1-run advantage heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. The 7-8-9 coming up for Elmira against Logan Bowman. 1-2 with 1 out. Fastball tackle line, shortstop glove, charge in for the left fielder Hartman, but it's Grabowski who's out to make the catch. Nice range from the Pioneer shortstop. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. So with 2 outs, it's Grant Ingram who come to the plate. Right-handed hitting extra hitter for the Pilots. 0 for 1 in the ballgame with a pop-up to the second baseman Monas. First pitch from Mashanik, fastball outside corner called strike 1. 0-1 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Pioneers and Newark Pilots for the 7th time this season. 4th meeting here at Dunn Field. Elmira holding a 4-2 season series lead, which could be instrumental for a potential tiebreaker should it come down to that scenario in a couple of weeks. Newark playing some up and down baseball at 14-13. Pioneers coming in at 15-13-1. Breaking ball just misses off the plate to Ingram. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Mashanik fires fastball pop foul behind home plate. 1-2. 1-2, a throw back to Hickett at 1st from Mashanik. Fastball poked foul once again. A really tough at-bat being put together by Ingram. Alex Woodman, first baseman, is on deck. With 2 out, breaking ball off the outside corner. Manganiello had the dime across the plate to prevent that from going to the backstop. You have Brooks off at 3rd base, Hector off at 1st. 2-2 count with 2 outs, top of the 4th. Pioneers preserving a 1-run advantage. Mashanik comes set and deals a high pop-up, shallow center field. Charging in his Baker. It's going to be a long run. Baker settles under it and puts it away to retire the side of the inning. For Newark, a 1-run advantage. Warriors, 2 runs left on base, 3.5 through. Elmira ahead by 1 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. the bottom of the fourth inning here at Dunn Field. Pioneers holding on to a 2-1 lead. It's Jacob Moniz to step in from the right side against Logan Bowman. Action beginning to get loose for Marcus Smith down in the Pilots bullpen. Keep an eye on that as the inning and ball game progresses. A bit of a short leash, it seems, potentially for Bowman. With Newark down run, these ball games starting to matter more and more as we get within 15 games of the playoffs. So a 1-0 count to Moniz. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. For Bowman in the ball game, he's given up 2 earned runs on 6 hits. Bowman has walked 1 and struck out 3. 2-0, fastball off the plate. 3-0 the count on Moniz. Fastball off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk. Second walk in the ball game through 3+ innings of work issued by Logan Bowman. Next, Marcus Smith's going to come after the mound. We'll look to see if he pulls the trigger on the relief pitcher. And he does indeed. So that was the end of the ball game for Bowman. We'll come back in a few short moments on the Pioneers Baseball Network. So the final line of the ball game as it stands for now, 3 innings plus for Logan Bowman. He gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, while walking 2 and striking out 3. A new pitcher in the ball game. It's the southpaw John Lucas Sanchez on to face Anthony Manganiello. Nobody out. Pioneers with a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch is a breaking ball inside to Manganiello. Anthony takes 1-0 the count. Manganiello was single in the bottom of the 2nd inning. He He was stranded on third base, advanced first to third on the RBI single into right field off the bat of Brooks Hicken. 1-0 breaking ball skips away from the catcher's icer into the backstop. Racing around second base and stopping right there is Moniz. As Jacob reached by a 4-pitch walk, which was the second in the ball game in 3+ innings for Bowman. That's when Marcus Smith pulled the trigger to pull his starting pitcher an option to Lucas Sanchez. For Sanchez on the season, a 2.7 ERA, 4 appearances, 6 2/3 innings of work, 9 runs but 2 earned, 7 walks and 5 strikeouts, pitching to an opposing batting average of .269. 2-0 to Manganiello, fastball line foul. Anthony was on that one, 2-1 the count. Sanchez 2 stares at Moniz, who leads off the second. 2-1. Swing and a miss by Anthony. 2-2 the count. Two and 2 the count. Nobody out. Bottom of the fourth. Pios lead 2-1. Glad you could join us on this Wednesday evening on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Sanchez delivers, poked into shallow left field. It's going to be a long run in for Paletto. He settles under it and puts it away for out number 1. So Manganiello stuck out to the left side of the plate, poked it off the end of the bat. And no avail. Moniz remains at second base. 1 out in the fourth, and here comes Brooks Hicken.
Now batting first baseman number 41, Brooks Hicken.
So Brooks welcomed himself to the lineup tonight with an RBI single in the bottom of the second. Lefty on lefty matchup with Lucas Sanchez. First pitch to Hicken, fastball inside. Ran in at the hands with 2-seam movement from the Newark southpaw. 1-0 the count. Inside, 2-0. Fastball outside corner. Hicken taking for a called strike 1. Moniz off the second base. On the season, for Moniz, he's got 2 stolen bases. Across the 13 ball games he's appeared in. Off the second here with 1 out. Fastball misses off the plate. 3-1 to Hicken. So Brooks now with his first RBI in the season. He'll look for RBI number 2 and or more. Good fastball count. 3-1. We'll look to see if Brooks awaits a heater in the strike zone. 3-1. Fastball outside for ball 4. So Hicken draws the second walk of the inning. First one issued by Lucas Sanchez, and that'll bring up Brendan Hammer at the bottom of the Pioneer batting order.
On to bat, third baseman number 15, Brendan Hammer.
Lefty on righty matchup with 1 out. Moniz off a second, Hicken off a first. Lucas Sanchez delivers a fastball high, 1-0 the count. Hammer in his first trip to the plate, one of the 3 strikeout victims in the ballgame for Logan Bowman. Moniz, who leads off a second, is his responsibility. Hicken is Sanchez's. Breaking ball way high and away, 2-0 the count. Sanchez fires inside. Hammer taken, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes to count, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. And Sanchez puts Hammer on via a walk. Bases would be loaded for the top of the Pioneers batting order. Sanchez sets, comes home with a 3-0, that's ball 4. So Hammer draws base. Second walk of the inning issued by Lucas Sanchez. Third walk of the inning issued by Newark pitching. They're all loaded up. Moniz is off of third. Picking off of second. Hammer off of first. And here comes the right-handed hitting shortstop, Aiden Grabowski, at the top of the Pioneers batting order. A great RBI opportunity for Aiden, who has a team-leading 18. 385 on base percentage, 800 OPS across 25 ball games. Second-year Pioneer, fourth-year Tiffin University Dragon out of Avon Lake, Ohio. Profound impact on the Pioneers' offensive success throughout the early going. And not just the early going, the majority now of the season. Anyways, tonight, game number 30 for the Pioneers already. They'll look to get back to being 3 games over 500. Breath from Sanchez, left side of the rubber, 1-0 offering with 1 out. Breaking ball high and away to Grabowski, 2-0 to count. Pioneers had them loaded up, no hits in the inning. They had an inning high 3 in the bottom of the second. Grabowski takes inside, 3-0 the count. There's nowhere to put him with Ty Martineau moving on deck. A guy that makes a lot of contact, and then TJ Grimesti, who had a long home run earlier today. Potentially murky waters for the Newark Pilots. And Sanchez. 3-0. Fastball just in the for a call strike. Bit of a delayed call from the home plate umpire. 3-1 the count. Rewind to Grabowski. Fastball inside corner for a called strike 2. So working back from 3-0 to a full count is Sanchez. Sanchez has recorded 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Came on a fly out to shallow left, and Jacob Leto off the bat of Anthony Manganiello. Payoff pitch as Grabowski flies it foul back behind. Count remains full. Sanchez comes set, payoff pitch to Grabowski, high for ball 4. Elmira leads 3-1. Third walk of the inning issued by Sanchez. Elmira ahead by 2. As Bogus crosses the plate, and advances to third, Hammer to second. As John Simmons now bats for Ty Martineau. Time is 0 for 2 in the ball game. It's Simmons to step in with the bases loaded. Pioneers back up by 2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. pitch to Simmons, breaking ball high and in tight. John takes it, it's a ball and no strikes. Even with the bag at third, coming home on a hard ground ball in debut Terra. Hector at his regular depth at shortstop. Same goes for Evan Brock at second. Even with the bag at first is Alex Wooden. Hicken leads off a third. Hammer off a second. Grabowski off a first. 2-run lead for the Pios. 1-0 count to Simmons. 1 out in the fourth. Sanchez fires. Simmons takes inside. 2-0. Simmons batting .200 on the season. Collective OPS of .717. 5 extra base hits, a homer, and 9 RBIs. .2-0 fastball in the dirt. Sanchez has been missing all over the place, and Marcus Smith, middle of the at-bat, it seems might be calling to take out Lucas Sanchez. He's walked 3 batters already in the inning, in danger of potentially issuing his 4th, only a third of the way through his outing. As Smith having a very animated chat with Sanchez and the rest of the Newark infield. Now calls the plate umpire out. Not entirely sure what this conversation revolves around. So Lucas Sanchez will depart. We'll take a short timeout and come back in a few moments on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers ahead 3-1, a 3-0 count to John Simmons. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Ty Baker in the ball game. Delivers his first offering low for ball 4, so the walk will count against Sanchez. A run comes in to score. Pioneers now lead 4-1. And TJ Grimesti now comes to the plate. That's the 5th walk of the inning issued. Pitch was thrown by the new pitcher in the ball game. It's Ty Baker.
Ready and ready matchup. First pitch to Grimesti, a swing and slap down third base line, just fell. Hammer off the third, Grimesti off of second, Simmons is off of first. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Pioneers with a 3-run lead. 4-1 lead. You're on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Grimesti, a high fly ball deep to left center field. And center, remember that he's too shotgun there. He makes the catch, tagging and going to throw his hand. Throw is strong, put off by the pitcher. The punch is late. And in time. Simmons at first. And here comes Brett Baker. 2 for 2 in the ball game with 2 singles. He bats from the left side against the righty Baker with 2 outs. First pitch to Baker, fouled back, 0-1. First hander on the high hop by Whitten. He takes it to the bag on the south side of the track. And in the inning for the Pioneers, 3 runs on there. There's 2 runs left on base. That's another clip. Pioneers ahead by 4. The Pioneers, that's not Over back to Pioneers baseball up top of the fifth inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 10 of the Pilots ordered you up against Bryson O'Shea, who keeps rolling along. With Elmira ahead by 4 runs, they'll deal with 8, 9, and 10 into the third. Pilots moving followed by Evan Brock and Captain Zacer. That's Pilots first baseman, second baseman, and catcher. Right for the Pilots in the top of the third base. O'Shea counters a fastball on the outside corner for a hard strike. The man on the head against Michelle. Barbara has single after that of a shortstop Anthony Hector. This one's over left side of the infield, beating the left for the basket. Cuts it out, jump throw, back away from the edge of the outfield grass. Ryan telling the back end to scoop that hooking off the first base bag. Nice athleticism from the left behind the spinning Norris County. But the outfielder is a little bit of second from the next one. The second one is a little bit down. The second one is a little bit from Bryce Machine. There comes the right-handed hitter, second baseman, Evan Brock. One run on 2 hits and no errors for the Pilots. 5 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. Check this fastball outside third. Nice backhand step by Malinsky. Goes to short and moves at second. Now they'll go to third and get the force out. No, save. You third! There's a half-hand ball to going back as Redmond says. I'm going to the right. Attacking and just drawing the throw back to the infield. Then the batsman from Alex Mortensen. Just played by Hartman for the second inning. So that goes the left-handed and Chris Finnegan. They're still protecting him for that week. Once in the middle, and then batsman is still 2 bags going to center field for his other trip first machine up in the top of the first. As to his picking back, going to look for a bad strike there. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, gets to the backstop though, and coming in the square is Witten, so now ranging way off second base is Zacer, he'll scoot back. So the pitch, it's still a swing and a miss for Steph Miller. As Ace moves up to second, Cleveland closing the score. And it's now a 3-run bogey that puts it down to checked on ground 5, just behind home plate. Staying at his front yard. Two runs on 3 hits in the innings for the Banners, and represents 6 innings. Shannon will be alive for the return as one more step from there to get. The Pioneers with a 3-run lead, and the bullpen remains ready to take it. 1-2, thinking about a swing of this. Straight from the bottom is for the power with excellent hesitation to put down the first on the drop code. Ready to take it. Then back to 2 hits, others, and then for the left on X. Now what a then put it into that one. It's supposed to have that today. Back to Pioneers baseball as we move back up. The Federals might be a problem to step in for the right side of the plate against the ready tiebreaker, who fouls a strike nothing and one. Baseman Shank was able to get out of the top of the 5th inning without too much damage, 2 hits against and a run. For the Newark Pilots, they've now closed the deficit to 3. The Shank doing nice through 5 innings of work so far. Thanks for closing. A strikeout on the last and breaking ball, Finicella on the top of the 5th. 2 strikeouts in the ball game for the Shannon. They put in place of Ruben Bourbon and John Lucas Sanchez. Just about the end of the to James shot to the shortstop, and Hector ranges over to the right side of the infield and puts a right flying off the second baseman block for that number 1. Single in the back of the second in his debut at bat. He ran the split on the RBI single from Brooks Aiken and popped up to the shortstop after his second trip to the plate in the third. Taking ball outside for the third strike one. Right side of the infield, for base hit. This guy's back to the second base to the left. To the second second of the ball game. Since the second of the night, first since the bottom of the third is in that go to the single. Matchup, one out, one half of the fifth, batting in this with 7 hits. That's third of the third, 2 activities of work for 3 different Newark pitchers. This pitch to Lewis as he fists it right into the back to the right side of the infield. Throws it out for a shortstop after lifting time on the fifth side of the infield. After throwing it to his backhand side, the infield single from Lewis as he just tapped it over the middle inside it. Open, the base to second, moves out to first. Then after the bottom of the fifth, Pioneers. If we do, the Pioneers 3-run advantage. So it's Anthony Mangiello to come to the plate with 1 out. Sets and fires. Fastball inside for the pitch, strike one. Mangiello takes off with the 1 on the count.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Up to bat, third baseman number 15, Brendan Hammer. It's Hammer time.
Check, 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 check. Brendan Hammer comes to the plate. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Pioneers ahead 5-2. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. 1-0 the count. As in the inning, a pop-up from Michael Palmer. A single from Andrew Hartman. An infield single from Jacob Moniz. Hit batsman to Anthony Manganiello. And Brooks Hicken drew a walk. Or rather, Brooks Hicken struck out. 1-0 to Hammer with 2 outs, lined into left center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Hartman scores. Right behind him, coming to the plate is Moniz. He'll score. Getting into third safely is Manganiello on a 2-run single for Brendan Hammer, and the Pios lead 7-2. In the process, Manganiello advances up to third. Hammer knocks him in. Elmira ahead by 5, and Aiden Grabowski at the top of the batting order stands in.
Stepping up to the plate, it's shortstop number 4, Aiden Grabowski.
Baker deals. Grabowski takes low, taking second as Hammer. Second and third for the Pioneers, as Manganiello will be off at third, Hammer off of second. Two runs on 3 hits for the Pios in the bottom of the 5th inning. To Grabowski, a high pop behind third base. It's a long run, and catching it on the run, a nice play made by Butera to conclude the bottom of the 5th. But for the Pios, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Let's go to the 6th. Elmira ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers lead by 5 as we enter the top of the 6th inning. From historic Dunn Field in Elmira, New York, Farrell Hudson for the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. As it's Christian Butera, Noah Brooks, and Anthony Hector, the 3, 4, and 5 in the Newark order, to step to the dish against the right-hander Bryce Mashanik in his 6th inning of work. With a 7-2 lead, 1-0, fastball high and in. Butera takes 2 balls and no strikes. For Butera, a walk and a strikeout in the game. 2-0, dribbled on the ground. Deep in the hole at third. Hits Hammer. Nice stop throw across the diamond. Strong to Hicken for the first out. So 1 out and the base is empty. And it'll bring up Noah Brooks. Ready with Mashanik. First offering, fastball outside corner, called strike 1. We're at the top of the 6th inning. Newark with 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. 7 runs on 9 hits and no errors. A 1 fly to deep right but foul. It'll be out of Grimesti's reach. 0-2 the count. Mashanik deals a breaking ball outside in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball just misses off the outside corner. 2-2 the count to Brooks. Brooks sets and deals ground ball. Slowed down by Mashanik, but it's going to be an infield hit. So Brooks beats it out. Bryce slowed it down with the glove and ran about 10 feet behind the mound. Moniz picked it up on the bare hand, but it was far too late to nab the hustling Brooks, who reached base for the 2nd time in the ball game. Infield hit. 4th hit of the ball game for Newark. 1 on with 1 out against Mashanik in the top of the 6th. First pitch fastball just inside. 1-0 the count. From Mashanik, fastball away. 2-0 the count. It's Anthony Hector, the shortstop, an RBI single, his last trip to the plate in the top of the 4th. Fastball outside corner, called strike 1. Here's Mashanik's 2-1, rolled left side of the infield. Grabowski on the backhand side stops it, but it's going to be another infield hit. That was sharply hit. Grabowski with great range keeps it in the infield, but 2 consecutive infield hits have Newark set up. Runners on 1st and 2nd, top of the 6th inning with 1 out. And Eugene Barber is going to make a slow walk out to the mound. Not entirely sure if this is going to be a pitching change just yet. Barber's going to talk things over with the rest of the Pios infield. Top of the 6th inning, 1 out. Elmira ahead by 5. It's Jacob Paletto, the left fielder. Stand in from the left side against the righty Mashanik for the 3rd time in the ball game. Paletto 0 for 2 so far. A fly ball to right and a pop-up to the shortstop, Grabowski. Andrew Roxby gets loose in the bullpen for the Pioneers. Pink skies here at Dunn Field. A beautiful evening for baseball, and we're glad, amidst all the audio and technology issues, you have remained with us here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. It's Piletto to stand in with one out. Brooks leads off a second, Hector off a first. First pitch from Mashanik, grounded just foul beyond the extended reach of Hammer down the third baseline. 0-1. One fastball high and away. After Piletto, it would be Grant Ingram from the right side. You have a righty, Roxby, waiting in the bullpen. Andrew Roxby's been money so far this season in his relief appearances. 1-1 for Mashanik with one out. A fly ball to left. Andrew Hartman settles under it, and he puts it away for out number 2. No tag from Brooks. So I'd assume that Mashanik will be allowed to finish the inning here. 2 outs and 2 on for Newark. 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors for the Pilots. 7 runs on 9 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. Here's Ingram, 0 for 2 in the ballgame. A pop-up to Moniz and a fly ball to Brett Baker in center. Mashanik gets his sign, comes set right side of the rubber. First pitch on the way to Ingram, it clips him inside. A hit batsman, now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. So Brooks will be at third, Hector at second, Ingram off of first. Would still imagine Mashanik will be allowed to finish the inning. It's the right-handed hitting first baseman Alex Wooten to step in. An infield single against Mashanik to lead off the top of the 5th. First pitch from Mashanik, fastball inside, 1-0 the count. Bryce comes set, deep breath from the right side of the rubber, fires fastball outside corner for a called strike 1. Pioneer's specialty was the relief pitching last night. Larson Birch went 3 2/3, 2 hits given up, no runs, no earned, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. One looking Garrett Rochon, 4 strikeouts across 2 innings of relief work. 1-1 for Mashanik, high and in tight with a breaking ball. Wooten had to duck his head out of the way, and the Pioneers are pretty much lucky he did so. That would have been a run that came in to score with the tying run coming to the plate. Would have applied more pressure on the decision of Andrew Drum and the entire Pioneers coaching staff. 2-1 for Mashanik with 2 outs. Fastball off the outside corner, 3-1. One to Wooten, fastball fouled back, and it's a full count with 2 outs. Nowhere to put Wooten. Pioneers trying to get out of the top of the 6th unscathed. 2 hits and a hit batsman have Newark set up with the bases loaded. 5-run ball game. Tying run could come to the plate should Wooten be able to reach base. Mashanik working out of the stretch from the right side of the rubber, bases loaded. Bryce fires, payoff pitch just outside for ball 4. A run comes in to score. That's Wooten. Ingram advances to second. Hector to third. Brooks crosses the plate. It's now a tie game. 2 outs, top of the 6th, and Eugene Barber is going to make the slow trot to the mound, and that means a departure for Bryce Mashanik, who's a little bit frustrated with that decision. Nonetheless, it's going to be made. So 5 2/3 for Mashanik. New pitcher coming in to the ball game. It's Andrew Roxby for the Pioneers. Take a short timeout. Come back in just a few moments on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors through the course of the 2025 season, including Absolute Care of Three Rivers, AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Sports, Al's Leasing, Ann's Pancakes, Blaze Brockway Contracting, and Buckley's Automotive. 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. Bryce Mashanik has pulled final line in the ball game as it stands. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. In the inning, a run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 runners on base. Ready on ready matchup, it's second baseman Evan Brock against Andrew Roxby. First pitch from Roxby, fastball just off, on the outside corner for a called strike. Spoke a little soon, but umpire was indicating it was off. Nonetheless, 0-1 the count. 0-1 with 2 outs, fastball, outside corner, 0-2. It'll be an 0-2 with 2 outs. Roxby sets and fires, swing and a miss. High fastball, and that'll take care of the top of the 6th. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. 5.5 through. Elmira ahead by 4 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. John Simmons to come to the plate for the Pioneers, who are ahead by 4 on the Newark Pilots on a warm Wednesday evening from Dunn Field. Backdoor breaking ball over the outside corner. John taking for a called strike 1. It'll be Simmons followed by Gramesty and Baker in the home half of the 6th for the Pioneers. John will walk in the bottom of the 4th inning. Faced 2 different pitchers in that 4-pitch walk as he flies the next offering foul from Baker. 0-2 the count. Ty Baker 1 pitch to John Simmons. That was ball 4 after John Lucas Sanchez got pulled. What a crazy ball game it's been so far. Newark 3 consecutive innings with at least a run. Pioneers had a 2-0 lead after the bottom of the 2nd. 0-2 to Simmons. Flied foul third base side out of play. Take a look at the scoreboard across the PGCBL. Batavia ahead of Geneva 8-6 in the bottom of the 7th. Oneonta ahead of Auburn, a cross-conference matchup. Outlaws 10-6 lead at Falcon Park in Auburn. 12-3, the Niagara Falls Americans are beating the Niagara Ironbacks. Top of the 8th inning from George Taylor Field in St. Catharines, Ontario. Boonville ahead of Utica in the East Division 6-5. Saugerties ahead of Amsterdam 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. No score between Glens Falls and Mohawk Valley, top of the 3rd. Change up just off the plate from Baker, and from a 0-2 to 2-2 count. Simmons shrugs the shoulders, feels the twine in his hands, and steps back into the lefty box. Outfield's at medium depth for Simmons. 6 extra base hits, a homer, and 9 RBIs on the season. Awaits a 2-2 offering. Righty on lefty matchup. Bases empty, nobody out. Breaking ball fouled off. Third base side out of play. Up against the stanchion of the top of the stands here at Dunn Field. Nice crowd on hand. Kids run as usual. Sweet Caroline in the middle of the 6th inning. All the traditional Dunn Field classics. Pioneers are getting down to crunch time. Only 7 more home games following the conclusion of tonight's ball game. Home game number 16 of 23 for the Pioneers. Game number 30 of 46. Fastball high. Simmons takes, and he's worked a full count. One of the best attributes of Simmons so far this season has been that eye at the plate. He's executed elite plate discipline on a nightly basis. A .379 on base percentage. 17 walks. Waits the payoff offering and swung on and missed for strike 3. Breaking ball backdoor over the inside corner. Simmons is retired for out number 1 in the 6th. So here comes TJ Gramesty. Another productive ball game for TJ. A solo shot in the bottom of the 1st off the original starter Logan Bowman. Then a strikeout in the bottom of the 3rd against Bowman. A sac fly in the bottom of the 4th. 1 for 3 in the ball game. 2 RBIs. Is taking the breaking ball outside is Gramesty. 1-0 the count. Pioneers will have an off day tomorrow. They'll be back in action from Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York on Friday night for a clash with the Muck Dogs. Breaking ball fouled back from Gramesty. 0-2 the count on, or 1-1 the count on TJ. Batavia right now in that first place spot in the West Division across 28 ball games, 18-9-1. Niagara Falls at 19-11. Tarp Skunks 18-11. Auburn 16-10-4. Breaking ball hammered foul. 1-2 the count on Gramesty. The 1-2 to TJ with 1 out. Breaking ball popped up at first base. It's going to be a long run over by the Pioneers. Dugout for Wooten. And it goes out of play. Gramesty piecing together a nice at-bat with 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. Ready on ready matchup. One out with the bases empty. Breaking ball hammered on the ground to first. A nice stop on a bounce by Wooten. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2. So Grimesti down. 2 outs and the bases empty in the bottom of the 6th. And here comes Brett Baker. Baker in the ball game 2 for 3. 2 singles and a grounder to Wooten at first, his last trip to the plate. First pitch to Baker. Backdoor breaking ball. A bit low. Brett takes 1-0 the count. Cut on and missed. 1-1. So far for Ty Baker across 2 1/3 innings of relief. 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, both swinging. The strikeouts coming of John Simmons here in the bottom of the 6th. Brooks Hicken in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 the count, or 1-2 the count, shall I say, on Baker with 2 out. Pioneers looking for their 3rd victory in a row. Their 2nd on their home diamond at Dunn Field, and their 3rd on the season here from the Dunn against Newark. To Baker, and he gets drilled. Inside fastball. Gives a stare out to the mound, and Baker, he'll trot down to first with 2 outs.
Now batting extra hitter number 17, Michael Palmer.
So here comes Michael Palmer, Pioneers extra hitter in the ball game. For Mike, he's reached base once via a walk in the bottom of the 3rd. His last trip to the plate, a pop-up to the shortstop Hector. Taking off is Baker on a ground ball foul. Ducking out of the way is Pioneers first base coach Brian Joe. So 0-1 the count with 2 outs. Baker from the right side of the rubber. Delivers the 0-1. Outside corner, called strike 2. with 2 outs. Breaking ball just missing at the top of the zone. Mike takes the ball and 2 strikes. One-two. Palmer pops it up. A jam shot off the end of his bat. Shallow center field, and center fielder in DiGiacomo couldn't find it. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Baker. Throw home, hits the mound, and bounces too late in front of Zeiser as a run comes in to score, and Baker, that's going to go down as an RBI single. Pios take an 8-3 lead as Baker never stopped running from first base. So how about that? An RBI single off the bat of Palmer. First hit, first run in the inning for Elmira. They now have 8 runs on 10 hits across 5 2/3 innings of work. Pioneers get it back to a 5-run lead. It's Andrew Hartman to dig in with 2 outs. Palmer a short lead off of first, and the breaking ball inside corner for a called strike 1. Hartman in his debut game with the Pioneers, a single to lead off the bottom of the second. His first hit in a Pioneers uniform came in his first at-bat in a Pioneers uniform. A pop-up to the shortstop Hector, followed by another single in the bottom of the 5th. Came around to score in the bottom of the 5th as well. outside for ball one. So a 1-1 count, righty on lefty matchup with 2 outs. A run and a hit home in the inning for the Pios. Outfield's at medium depth. Paletto plays relatively shallow and left, shaded over towards the left center field gap. DiGiacomo plays to the right side of center field, and deep and right is Finicaro against the lefty Hartman with 2 outs. Snap throw back to first from Baker. Final line in the ball game for the starter in Logan Bowman. 3 innings of work, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. All came swinging. Faced 17 batters. John Lucas Sanchez, a third of an inning. No hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. And 3 walks. That one inside corner for a called strike 2 to Hartman. Baker looking to complete 2 2/3 innings of work. One, 2 with 2 outs, and the breaking ball popped up. Left side of the infield. Hector, the shortstop, calls off the rest of the diamond and puts it away for the final out of the bottom of the 6th. For the Pioneers, a run and a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 6 innings through. Elmira ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball here in the top of the 7th inning as Parker Zeiser steps to the plate against Andrew Roxby in his first full inning of work as Andrew delivers a breaking ball high. 1-0 the count. Final line in the ball game for Bryce Mashanik goes 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Rather, 3 walks, but 2 hit batsmen, 96 pitches, 62 strikes, 34 balls. It'll be a 1-1 count from Roxby to Zeiser. It'll be Zeiser followed by DiGiacomo and Finicaro. 10-1-2 in the Newark quarter to step to the plate. Inside corner with a fastball. Roxby ahead in the count, 1-2. Andrew working out of the windup from the right side of the rubber. Comes set and deals fastball in tight, 2-2. Breaking ball off the plate. It's a full count. with nobody out. Payoff pitch from Roxby. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Zeiser retired for out number 1 in the inning. So here comes Nick DiGiacomo to the plate with 1 out and the base is empty. DiGiacomo 0 for 3 in the ball game. A pop-up to the catcher Manganiello. Pop-up to Hammer at third and a fly ball to Hartman in left. Righty on righty matchup with Roxby. Andrew fires. Fastball away. 1-0. Fastball top of the zone. DiGiacomo takes for a called strike 1. After DiGiacomo, it's Finicaro. Reached base once in the ball game. 1-1 from Roxby. Fastball low and away. Skips by the catcher Manganiello. 2-1 the count. Roxby sets, 2-1. Inside corner, and a cut and a miss from DiGiacomo. And we're level at 2-2. Two-two, fastball off the plate. It's a full count. With 1 out and the base is empty. 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors for Newark. 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. Roxby comes set and delivers. Swing and a miss. For strike 3, out number 2 in the inning. Second consecutive strikeout from Roxby. That's now 3 in the ball game. Across an inning and a third for Andrew. 2 outs and the base is empty. It's the right-handed hitting Chris Finicaro to come to the plate. Finicaro 0 for 2, although he reached base once in the ball game, made the most of it. Got plunked to lead off the top of the 4th from Bryce Machanik. 2 stolen backs, came around to score. Besides that, a fly ball to Baker in center and a strikeout swinging in the top of the 5th. First pitch fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Roxby looking to complete a perfect 7th inning of work. Give the Pioneers 6 more defensive outs remaining to record in the ball game. Up a relatively comfortable 5 runs. 0-1, breaking ball high. 1-1. Fastball line to left field. Going back on his horse, settling under it is Hartman in the left center field gap. Puts it away, side retired. As Roxby faces a minimum, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. 6.5 through, get up and stretch. Pios ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers lead 8-3 as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. A new pitcher in the ball game. It's the right-hander Kaz Zeiser. Pioneers have become relatively familiar with him throughout the course of the 2025 season, both appearing on the Geneva Red Wings and now the Newark Pilots, getting to throw to his brother Parker. You saw him in last Saturday's ball game as well. Pioneers with a 5-run lead. Andrew Roxby, a perfect 1-2-3, top of the 7th inning. Final line on Ty Baker in the ball game. He was the second relief pitcher, third pitcher for Newark. Across 2 2/3 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, none looking. So a productive outing for him. 1-1 as Moniz cuts through a fastball from the righty Zeiser, working out of the windup, who fires inside with a breaking ball. 2-1 to Jacob. For Andrew Roxby, he's gone an inning and a third so far. 3 strikeouts, 1 looking. Immaculate performance from the right-hander out of Dallas, Pennsylvania. Fastball at the knees. Moniz taking for a called strike 2. For the Pioneers, it'll be Moniz, Manganiello, and Hicken. 7, 8, and 9 in the Elmira order due up to the plate here in the home half of the 7th. Firing 2-2 is Zeiser. Fastball in the dirt. Moniz takes, and it's a full count. Moniz batting .290, an on-base percentage of .425, collective .715 OPS on the season. Waits a payoff pitch with the bases empty and no one out. A swing and a miss. Fastball tipped into the glove of the catcher, Parker Zeiser. Moniz retired for the second time in the ball game. He's now 1 for 3. 1 out and the base is empty in the bottom of the 7th.
Catcher number 33, Anthony Manganiello.
So here comes Anthony Manganiello. Anthony 1 for 2 in the ball game. A single in the bottom of the 2nd. A fly out to left in the bottom of the 4th. Got plunked in the bottom of the 5th. So he's reached base twice. Righty on lefty matchup. Zeiser fires a fastball in the dirt by the feet of Manganiello. 1-0. Pioneers have a busy 5 games upcoming. It'll be played all in about the span of 72 hours. A Friday night road game at Batavia. Saturday doubleheader at the Niagara Falls Americans for a 2 and 4 p.m. first pitch from Sal Magley Stadium. And then a 2 and 4 p.m. first pitch right back here at Dunn Field on Sunday afternoon against the Niagara Ironbacks. Pioneers will have 3 more off days sandwiched into the schedule, July 14th, and then 2 in between both the Jamestown doubleheader, which comes on Sunday the 20th, and Pioneers playing a lone game out at Dietrich Park, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday night, July 23rd. Fastball inside. Manganiello takes 3-0 the count. Anthony takes low in the dirt. That's ball 4. He's aboard with 1 out.
Now batting first baseman number 41, Brooks Hicken.
So it's Brooks Hicken a step to the plate. Brooks has been productive in the ball game. An RBI, single in the bottom of the 2nd, 1 for 2. Reached base in the bottom of the 4th via a walk, came around to score. About a 10 to 12 foot lead off the first base bag for Manganiello with 1 out. First offering to Hicken, fastball high and away. Brooks taking 1-0. After Hicken, it'll be Brendan Hammer, who's reached base twice in 3 plate appearances so far today. Hicken takes a strike right down Broadway, 1-1. Cut into the glove of Parker Zeiser from Hicken, 1-2 the count. 10 feet behind the bag at third is Butera. Hector, the shortstop, at regular double play depth. So is the second baseman Brock. Wooten holds on Manganiello at first. Medium depth for the entire Pilots outfield. 1-2 with 1 out. Fastball. Hicken lays off The outside corner heater, 2-2 the count. Two to Hicken. Fastball. Oh, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Brooks not entirely thrilled as he departs for the second out of the inning. Seemed as if the plate might have expanded there.
Now batting third baseman number 50, Brendan.
And here comes Brendan Hammer to the plate. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Brendan Hammer to step in. Last chance for the Pios in the home half of the 7th. First offering with 2 outs. Breaking ball called strike 1. Pioneers got their base runner in Anthony Manganiello off a walk from Mango here in the 7th. For Hammer, he's reached base twice in the ball game. A 2-run single in the bottom of the 5th. His last trip to the plate. 0-1, breaking ball above the letters, 1-1 the count. 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors for the Pilots. 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors for your Pioneers. With Manganiello inching off at first, it'll be a 1-1 with 2 out. Fastball low and away. 2-1 to Hammer. Tipped off the glove of Zeiser on a breaking ball down and in. 2-2 the count. Seems as if Pioneers will still send Andrew Roxby to the mound for the top of the 8th. Nobody currently warming in the Elmira bullpen. Pioneers with an 8-run victory last night, a 5-run lead tonight. A 10-run victory on Sunday, starting to build upon a positive run differential following a tough 2-7-1 stretch in 10 ball games. It'll be a 2-2 righty-on-righty matchup to Hammer with 2 out, breaking ball high and in tight. Hammer almost got plunked. It's a full count. Payoff pitch on the way to Brendan Hammer. Breaking ball fouled back. Brendan stays alive. Want to thank all those joining us on this Wednesday evening on the Pioneers Baseball Network for the 7th meeting of the season between Newark and Elmira. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. Hammer takes inside for ball 4. Appeal at the field umpire who said no swing. So a walk for Hammer. Second walk of the ball game. Reaches base for the 3rd time in 4 plate appearances as Manganiello goes up to second. 2 runners on with 2 out. Bottom of the 7th. Aiden Grabowski comes to the plate.
Shortstop number 4, Aiden Grabowski.
Grabowski with some family in town, assuming. There's some loud cheers from the stands. Righty-on-righty matchup with Kaz Zeiser. Looking to get through a 7th inning of unscathed work is the Newark right-hander who fires low to Grabowski. Aiden taking a ball and no strikes. For Grabowski in the ball game, 0 for 2, reached base Now they're 0 for 3. Reach base via a walk in the bottom of the 4th. Manganiello dances off a second. Hammer off a first. 1-0 with 2 outs. Foul back to the screen. 1-1. One breaking ball inside. Grabowski patiently taking Manganiello off of second base, playing a bit of a game of chicken, trying to slip inside the mind of Kaz Zeiser, who is really eyeing him down for a good couple seconds there. Manganiello's got relatively good speed. He'll come to the plate on a single, likely plate the 9th Pioneers run of the ball game, if so, from Grabowski. In search of his first hit of the evening, Pioneers shortstop. Reliable all season long from the plate. Waits 2-1, breaking ball inside corner for a called strike 2. It'll be a 2-2 with 2 outs. Zeiser comes set. 2 looks at Manganiello on second, out of the stretch, fires. Fastball popped foul behind the plate. Grabowski doing a nice job of staying alive. Zeiser, a long stare in, comes set. It'll be another 2-2 on the way to Aiden Grabowski. Zeiser deals, breaking ball inside. Grabowski takes, and it's a full count. Should Aiden get on, the bases would be loaded for John Simmons. Zeiser taking a long time to get his sign, but imagine Grabowski's going to call time. Home plate umpire does it for Aiden. That's a really long time from Zeiser on the mound. No pitch clock here in the Perfect Game Collegiate League. Might be about time for the PGCBL to potentially invest in one. Zeiser taking until next Christmas on the mound. Payoff pitch with 2 outs, rolled on the ground. Just foul at third. So the magnificent at-bat for Grabowski continues, fouling off every pitch in his way. Count remains full. 8 runs on 10 hits for Elmira. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Pioneers have gotten 2 runners on via a walk against Zeiser, 4th pitcher in the ball game for Newark. Logan Bowman, 3 innings plus 3 earned runs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. John Lucas Sanchez, 3 walks across a third of an inning. And then Ty Baker did the rest in relief, 2 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Now it's Zeiser looking to complete a scoreless bottom of the 7th. Payoff on the way to Grabowski. He fouls it off again. Aiden doing a great job. Zeiser sets and fires low in the dirt for ball 4. Aiden walks for the second time in the ball game. 3 walks in the inning issued by Kaz Zeiser. And John Simmons comes to the plate with a chance to do some serious damage. Bases loaded with 2 outs in the 7th. The full moon's come out above Dunn Field as well, so crazy things happen under a full moon. Pioneers will hope to cash in and make Zeisser pay for his 3 walks. As he stands from the right side of the rubber, comes set, fires, breaking ball high and away, 1-0. Nobody warming up in the Newark bullpen, so it's Zeisser hung out to dry, as we alluded to previously in the inning. Zeisser already the 4th pitcher being utilized for the Newark Pilots. 1-0 with 2 out, fastball off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes to John Simmons. Zeisser is going to step off the mound. John will step out of the lefty batter's box, adjust his gloves, and step back into a weighted 2-0 offering. Zeisser was in his windup, and he's complaining to the plate umpire, saying that Simmons didn't call time quick enough. 2-0 with 2 out, fastball low. Full count to Simmons. Nowhere to put him. Rio, a high pop from Simmons, middle of the diamond. Hector, the shortstop, calls off the second baseman, and Brocken puts it away to retire John to conclude the bottom of the 7th inning. So for the Pioneers, no runs, no hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We'll go to the 8th. Elmira ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers would like to thank all of our loyal sponsors for the 2025 season sponsorship. As always, Pioneers doing a great job within the community. And same with the sponsors supporting another season of Pioneers baseball, including Bully Hill Vineyard, CAF USA, Centralis Health, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung County AG Promotions, Chemung Supply, and Coca-Cola, Council Rockwealth Advisory Group, Curran Power Sports, Dandy Mini Marts, Dr. Susan Minchin, Elmira Chevy, Elmira Heat Treating, Elmira Impact, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Heselson's Hilliard, Jubilee, Just in Time, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, Ma's Cheesy Dreams, McDonald's, Myers RV, Nucor, Papa John's, Pathways, Pizza Hut, Red Robin, Rodney J. Strange, Saratoga Eagle, Save-A-Lot, Service Master, Serve Pro, Servview Credit Union, Shedden's Wholesale Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning, United States Army, Vasco Brands, Visions Federal Credit Union, Ward Manufacturing, Wegmans, Weiss Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, Wilburado, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Sam Watts takes the mound for the Elmira Pioneers as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Your Pios ahead of Newark 8-3. Sam Watts out of UMass Dartmouth on the season for the Pioneers. Watts will be making his 4th appearance, a 9 ERA, 3 innings of work. Giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts, 2 extra base hits, 13 batters faced, a .462 batting average against. It'll be Christian Butera followed by Noah Brooks and Anthony Hector. The 3, 4, and 5 in the Newark order, due up against Watts, top of the 8th inning. Ready on ready matchup. Butera flies one to shallow right. Kermesti trots over towards the line and puts it away for out number 1. So a nice start for Watts. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here comes Brooks with the bases empty to the right side of the plate. First pitch to Brooks, fastball, called strike 1. Watts slinging it from just below a 3/4 arm slot. Unique vantage point, eerily comparable to Casey Julkowski. And heck, if he can replicate the same amount of success that Casey Julkowski's had in a Pioneer uniform, then we're talking good business as Watts not messing around here. Sam getting ahead. Fastball, then a breaking ball there. Nasty stuff to go off the heater. Nothing into the count to Brooks. With 1 out, Watts comes set, delivers, swing and a miss. Breaking ball off the outside corner. 4 pitches and 2 outs in the top of the 8th as Brooks down on strikes. Swinging. So it'll bring up Anthony Hector, the shortstop, from the left side of the plate. For Hector in the ball game, he's reached base in all 3 plate appearances. A walk in the top of the 2nd, single in the top of the 4th, and infield single in the top of the 6th. Righty on lefty matchup with 2 outs and the bases empty. As Watts sets and fires, a cut and a miss. Fastball at the top of the zone, 0-1. Oh, 1 fastball just off the outside corner. First ball thrown by Watts on his 6th pitch of the inning. 1 ball and 5 strikes. Bryce Mechanic started off the ball game phenomenal. No hits across 3 innings of work. 5 hits for Newark across 7 2/3. Mechanic went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Roxby an inning and a third. No hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Watts looking to complete a perfect 8th inning here as Hector, shortstop, calls time, steps out of the box, and he'll dig back in. One, 2 off the outside corner. Two balls, 2 strikes the count. Pioneers, 4 more defensive outs to record, a 5-run lead. Watts, 3rd pitcher in the game, 2nd in relief, 3rd right-hander for the Pios. Swing and a miss, and Watts retires the side effectively in order. 2 strikeouts in the inning, faces the minimum as the Pilots go down 1-2-3. No runs and no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. 7.5, 3rd Pios ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning from Dunn Field. TJ Grimesti against the right-hander Kaz Zeiser. Takes the fastball for a called strike one. It'll be Grimesti, Baker, and Palmer. 3, 4, 5 in the Elmira order. Due up in the bottom of the 8th. A one breaking ball inside. TJ takes a ball and a strike. In the ball game for Grimesti. 1 for 4. 2 RBIs, a homer in the bottom of the first, a sac fly in the bottom of the fourth. Other 2 at-bats, a strikeout in the bottom of the third, and a ground out to first base in the bottom of the sixth. 2 consecutive breaking balls missing inside from the right-hander Zeiser in his second inning of work. 3 walks in the bottom of the second, 7th rather. 2 strikeouts for Zeiser. Fastball popped up, foul behind the plate. 2-2 to Grimesti with nobody out. So Sam Watts, phenomenal. Only about 8 pitches across the top of the 8th inning. Got a fly ball to right off the bat of Butera. 2 consecutive strikeouts to close out the inning on 2 very competitive hitters in both Noah Brooks and Anthony Hector. Breaking ball misses high to Grimesti. It's a full count with nobody out. Pioneers en route to what looks to be their 3rd victory of the season on home field against Newark in 5 contests. So it put them 5-2 versus Newark overall, which is important, especially considering potential playoff implications of a tiebreaker should Newark and Elmira come back down to that 4th spot in the PGCBL West Division. Pioneers currently are trailing the Auburn Doubledays as the fastball misses away for ball 4, skips to the backstop. Grimesti's going to round first. He's thinking of going to second. TJ is going to get there ahead of the throw. Now it goes into center field. TJ's going to take off. He's going to third. The throw comes to third. Not in time. You know what you call that, folks? A Little League triple. So it'll be an E2 on the catcher, Zeiser. First error of the ball game committed by Newark. On a strike, it'll go down as a strikeout for Grimesti. As Brett Baker comes to the plate. Runner on third. With nobody out. Righty on lefty matchup. Wooten's in at the first base bag. So is Butera in at third. Fastball inside to Brett. 1-0 the count. For Baker, he's 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's reached base in 3 or 4 plate appearances. Got plunked in the bottom of the 6th inning from Ty Baker. 1-0. Fastball fouled. Third base side out of play. 1-1. Fans, be sure to tune in to the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network this Friday, July 11th, as your Pioneers get set to take on the Batavia Muck Dogs. Our live coverage will begin roughly half an hour before the game with Pioneers pregame live. First pitch coming shortly after 6:30. Fastball inside. Two and one. Now 3 balls and a strike as the fastball misses low and away. Baker taking. It's a 3-1 count with nobody out. Check swing by Baker. Did he go around? Field umpire will say he did. Ooh. It's going to be a full count with nobody out as Baker was assuming he had walked. He took off down the first base line. So it'll be a payoff pitch to Baker with nobody out. Fouled off. Baker piecing together some really nice at-bats since his arrival in Elmira. Proof positive of that tonight, reaching base 3 more times in 4 plate appearances. 3-2 inside corner called, strike 3. Brett retired by the backwards K for out number 1. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, but only 1 out. You rarely see that in baseball. Just another non-simplicity in this ball game. So Baker retired for the first out. And here comes Palmer, who swings and misses, 0-1, letter high fastball from Zeiser. Oh, Palmer takes the breaking ball high. Count levels on the Elmira extra hitter. 1 for 3 in the ball game, an RBI single in the bottom of the 6th. He's reached base twice. 1-1 to Mike. He lines the fastball foul. 1-2. One-two, breaking ball off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Palmer with 1 out. Pioneers an 8-3 lead here in the home half of the 8th inning. Thank you for sticking around with us amidst all the difficulty with audio earlier in the ball game here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. 2-2 to Palmer with 1 out. Fastball fouled off. Mike stays alive. Palmer steps out, now comes back in. Waits the 2-2, breaking ball high, it's a full count. Payoff pitch low in the dirt for ball 4. So Gramesti's off a third. Palmer off a first now with 1 out. Pios will look to build upon their 5-run advantage with Andrew Hartman stepping to the dish. Hartman from the left side of the plate. 2 for 4 in the ball game. 2 singles, he's come around to score twice, and 2 pop-ups to the shortstop Hector. So a nice debut game for Hartman. He's 2 for 4. Righty and lefty matchup with 1 out. Palmer leads off of first. Gramesti off of third. First pitch to Hartman, a fastball high and away, 1-0. Fastball outside corner, called strike 1. Pioneers with a win would go to 16-13-1 on the season. Important, especially considering the implications of the score last time we checked between Oneonta and Auburn. Flying down the left field line, foul out of play from Hartman, 1-2. And it is a final. The Oneonta Outlaws taking down the Auburn Doubledays 12-8. Batavia defeating Geneva 13-7 on the road. Niagara Falls defeating Niagara 12-5. Boonville ahead of Utica 9-5 in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3-1 Mohawk Valley over Glens Falls in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Socrates ahead of Amsterdam, bottom of the 8th. 1-2 with 1 out. Flied foul. Third base side and out. One-two to Hartman, fastball inside corner, called strike 3. Andrews' first strikeout as a Pioneer. Third strikeout of the inning from the right-hander Zeiser. And now he'll deal with the second baseman Jacob Moniz. With 2 outs, Elmira still ahead by 5. Runners on the corners.
Number 22, Jacob
So Mona stands in from the right side of the plate. Righty Zeiser gets his sign, comes set right side of the rubber. Palmer extends his lead off of first. Grimesti's off of third. Breaking ball low and away. Mona's tinks, 1-0 the count. Pioneers a run in the bottom of the first, a run in the bottom of the second, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. For Newark, a run in the top of the fourth, run in the fifth, run in the sixth. That's all they have to this point. 1-0. Cut and a miss from Mona's, 1-1. One fastball outside corner, called strike 2 on Mona's. For Jacob in the ball game, he's 2 for 3, an infield single in the bottom of the fifth, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Walked in the bottom of the fourth and came around to score. One, 2 with 2 outs, breaking ball high. Palmer takes second base, standing up. Stolen bag for Mike, now 2 in scoring position for the Pios. One, 2 to Monas, lined on a fastball inside. First base side foul. Monas awaits a 1-2 as Zeiser comes set and fires. Breaking ball tapped into right field, shallow. In charges Finicaro. He puts it away to retire Monas to conclude the bottom of the 8th. So for the Pios, no runs and no hits, an error, and 2 runners left on base. We'll take it to the 9th. Last chance for Newark, 8-3. Elmira leads on the Pioneers. Baseball Network. We head to the top of the 9th inning on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Sam Watts looking to close out the final 6 outs of the ball game to secure a 5-run victory for the Pioneers. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 due up in the Newark order. Jacob Paletta, the left fielder, Grant Ingram, the EH, and Alex Wooten at first base. First pitch drills Paletta in the back. So an early base runner for Newark in the top of the 9th, not the way Watts and the Pioneers anticipated opening up the inning. Paletta wears one in the wallet. That'll bring up the EH, Grant Ingram. Ready and ready matchup. Here's Grant Ingram. Nobody out, and Ingram almost gets buzzed. Sam Watts in the top of the 8th looked really good. Got a fly ball off the bat of Butera, then a strikeout swinging of Noah Brooks, a strikeout of Anthony Hector for a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. Fires a 1-0 fastball over the outside corner for a called strike one. Sam Watts out of UMass Dartmouth, teammates with Brett Baker in center field. He's also teammates with Jacob Moniz. That's how the trio of Baker, Moniz, and Watts all got to know one another, now spending time in their summer seasons in Elmira. 1-1, breaking ball inside corner, called strike 2. Watts out of Rehoboth, Massachusetts, appearing in 8 games for the Corsairs in 2025. 3 2/3 innings of work, gets a swing and a miss. Third strikeout in relief for Watts, out number 1 as Ingram's retired. And that'll bring up Alex Wooten, the first baseman. Struck out 2 batters, allowed no runs over 2/3 innings of relief in a 9-2 non-conference victory against the Clarkson Golden Knights out of the Liberty League back on March 14th. Watts delivers a breaking ball inside corner for a called strike 1 on the righty hitting first baseman Alex Wooten. Short lead off of first base for Paletto, who got plunked on the first pitch he saw from Watts here in the top of the 9th. Breaking ball outside corner, 0-2 on Wooten. In the ball game for Wooten, RBI walk that got Bryce Mechanic out of the ball game his last trip to the plate in the 6th. Before then, 1 for 2 with a ground ball and a single. Swing and a miss. Watts, strikeout number 4 for the second out of the top of the 9th, and Newark is down to their final out in the ball game. And that'll bring up the righty hitting Evan Brock. With 2 outs, Watts looking to lock down the victory for the Pioneers. First pitch from Watts is a breaking ball, dives off the outside edge. 1-0 the count. Watts fires, fastball just off the outside edge. 2-0 on Brock, who's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Pop up to Brooks Hicken, a single in the top of the 5th, and a strikeout to conclude the top of the 6th. Andrew Roxby's first batter that he faced. Fastball outside corner for a called strike 1. 2-1 with 2 outs. 8-3 Pios lead. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Newark. 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors for your Pioneers. 2-1, breaking ball. Inside corner at the letters, called strike 2, and now Newark is down to their final strike in the ball game. Crowd will start to rise here at Dunn Field as Watts comes set from the right side of the rubber. 2-2, and that one drills Brock. So 2 hit batsmen in the inning as Watts lost a bit of control. Shares a laugh with the Pilots' second baseman as he trots down the first base line. Sam insinuating it was intentional. Not sure Brock was too thrilled about getting plunked there, but obviously not on purpose. With the final strike of the ball game potentially being thrown there. So 2 hit batsmen in the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher Parker Zeiser. Zeiser rounding out the Newark batting order this evening. Takes a fastball high and in tight, 1-0. Newark catcher in the ball game. 0 for 2, reached base once on a 6-4 fielder's choice in the top of the 5th. Baker fires inside corner, called strike 1. One fastball outside corner. Strike 2. Newark down to their final strike once again. It'll be a 1-2 with 2 out. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and there's the ball game. as Watts tosses the glove in the direction of the Pioneers dugout. He has every reason to be happy. He strikes out the side, swinging at the top of the ninth. 5 strikeouts in relief for Watts. He closes out the final 2 innings. No hits allowed, no runs, no earned, no walks. 5 strikeouts, all swinging. Pioneers win 8-3. That'll do it for our live coverage tonight on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. A much-needed victory for Elmira, who now closes even closer to the Auburn Double Days for that 4th place spot. Be sure to tune in on Friday night, July 11th, as your Pioneers hit the road to take on the Batavia Buckdogs from Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York. Our live coverage begins with Pioneers pregame live at 5:55 p.m. First pitch at 6:30, all right here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. For now, I'm Farrell Hudson saying so long and have a good night from Dunn Field. Once again, your final score, the Elmira Pioneers 8 and the Newark Pilots 3.